Scopes Monkey Trial of 1925. In 1925, Dayton, Tennessee, John Thomas Scopes, a high school coach and substitute teacher, went to court for going against the Butler Act by teaching evolution. He was born on August 3rd, 1900, in Paducah, Kentucky. Youngest of 5 children, and he was the only boy. He moved to Illinois as a teenager and graduated high school in 1919. He had to drop out for a time during college for medical reasons, but he eventually earned a degree in law from the University of Kentucky. As we went over in the last slide, Scopes got a higher education and a degree in law. You can see these things as impacting his future actions by how he may have wanted to share his knowledge without being held back by the Butler Act. The trial began on July 10th, 1925. Hundreds of reporters from all over the country came in to witness it. The defense lawyer was Clarence Darrow, and the lawyer for prosecution was William Jennings Bryan. We will go over these two more in the slide after this one. Several students were encouraged to testify against Scopes in the trial. In the end, he was found guilty and charged a fine of $100. The lawyers. Defense lawyer Clarence Darrow. He worked as a defense counsel in many dramatic criminal trials. And you can tell he had experience from all the trials he went through. The lawyer for prosecution, William Jennings Bryan, was a former presidential candidate called the Great Commoner for his support of the working class. Some interesting information about the trial is that outside the trial, there was a carnival-like atmosphere, and they had an exhibit featuring 2 chimpanzees and a supposed missing link. The missing link was actually just a 51-year-old man who was short and had a receding forehead and a jaw that went outward. And in the town, they had a lot of vendors that sold Bibles, toy monkeys, hot dogs, and lemonade. Monkey jokes were also very common, like on trend. And this is just really adorable, but one of the monkeys, named Joe Mendy, wore a plaid suit, a brown fedora, and white spats. Some questionable aspects of the trial is most of the jury was religious, and there didn't seem a separation of church and state. And a quote from the trial is, "There is, it appears, a conspiracy of scientists afoot. Their purpose is to break down religion, propagate immortality, and so reduce mankind to the level of brutes. They are the sworn and sinister agents of Beelzebub, who yearns to conquer the world and has an eye especially upon Tennessee." And this quote was from a report on the John Scopes trial. The verdict was made on July 21st, 1925. Scopes' monkey trial ends with a guilty verdict. John Scopes, an unassuming high school biology teacher and part-time football coach, is found guilty of teaching evolution in schools in violation of Tennessee law. My opinion is that it was wrong. The defendant was innocent and the trial was unfair. The First Amendment rights were violated in this trial. If you don't know what your First Amendment right is, it's that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. Do you remember the Butler Law? That law is directly going against the First Amendment. That law was the one that the trial was based on. Do you think that this is fair? Also, whatever happened to the separation of church and state? Does that only matter when we find it convenient? This trial is hogwash. The verdict was innocent, in my opinion, and the defendant is innocent. This is my work cited in MLA format. Thank you.